Okay.
Hey everyone, this is Corinne Lafont, your favorite radio host, your only radio host. Come on. And I'm hanging here with a beautiful Joan Lubar. And you can see her there on the website, on the, what do you call that thing now? What do you call it again?
Oh,
The merry-go-round. The
Carousel.
merry-go-round. The Ferris wheel merry-go-round. And you can see her on video, and you're seeing me after such a long time. Yes, I'm back on video. If you see me coughing or hear me coughing, well, that's just what it is. I am still with a little lingering cough. And the more I talk, it gets to me. So if you see me reaching my towel and coughing, never mind. Just ignore that and listen to what we have. So let me share a bit about Joan before we get into it. Let me just bring this up. So Joan Lubar, she's called the Sassy Sage. You'll hear more about that in a bit. She says, you want to feel fit and fabulous even in your 70s. I don't know who she's talking about in their 70s because nobody on this show right now is in their 70s. Learn from Joan Lubar, who went from being 40. Now, yeah, what went from being 40? No, I mean, Joan Lubar, who is 40, anybody who is 40, falling asleep at work. I'm changing this because I know she lied somewhere in there. Falling asleep at work and gaining weight to becoming a vibrant, energetic, and fun-filled. Those of you who are 75 listening to this show, yeah. So if you feel like you're 75 or in your 70s and you're really supposed to be 40, this is the show for you. So Joan has had many careers, from mother to CPA to country western dance teacher and performer to nutrition advisor, speaker, and writer. Her mission is to help all of us, all of you who are 75, stay engaged as we age. Her book, Rock and Roll at Any Age, is filled with strategies to be youthful, fun-loving, and healthy throughout one's life. Joan, the 40-year-old Joan.
Yes. I'm here.
Very good, very good. Welcome to Between the Lines.
I have to laugh that you said, welcome to Between the Lines. I did a dance video called Dancing Between the Lines.
What are you saying? Where is that video? Where is that video?
It's nowhere now. I just have one copy left from 25 years ago.
No, you need to send me that. You need to get it digitally, get it done digitally and send it to me. Please, I would love to see you 25. That will make you, I don't know the maths, 40, 20, 25. I don't know the maths. 50. So that would make you at 50. Oh my goodness. Joan, what are you doing with your young self, the Sassy Sage? When you want to tell people who are 40, 30 and feeling like they're 75, or who are 75 in actual age and they want to feel like 40, you know, a lot of, especially women, you know, Joan, especially women, we give so much of ourselves. Self-sacrificial. We are wives, mothers, sisters, whatever, aunties, grandmothers, to a lot of people. And yeah, and I'm not saying that the men don't give too. I'm not. But if they're honest with themselves, they will appreciate and admit that women are more giving because we are the nurturers, we are the caregivers. We are the one really naturally responsible in the natural order of things to give of ourselves. And we forget ourselves along the way. And it's only when we're passing by that mirror and we're like, wait a minute, who is that? You know, we don't recognize ourselves anymore. Or we realize we're dressing differently. You know, we feel sluggish, older, people are not looking, or we don't feel as attractive. Let me put it like that. We don't feel as attractive like we used to. What's happening? What can you share with us in terms of that? And when, you know, is it the dancing that allowed you to? Yeah, I think it's the dancing. Dancing does something. Is it
That's
the dancing?
You're a dancer. That's because you're a dancer.
Yes. Tell me, share with me.
Well, because I started really at 40 to all of a sudden take care of myself, I really discovered when I looked back and people were saying, you couldn't possibly be in your 70s. And I would go, maybe I ought to think about what it is that I did and write about it. And that's why I wrote the book. Mm-hmm. But there are three really main things. There's a lot of auxiliary things that help. But the three main things to me are what you put in your body. That's your food, your supplements.
Yes.
What your attitude is, how you look at life, how you appreciate what's around you, how you have gratitude, how you learn that you're more than just this physical body. I call it the meat body. So those two things, and then how much you move. Those three things are, to me, are what made me who I am, because I've been through a lot of different things. I was a caregiver for over 12 years. I still seem to be a caregiver. That doesn't seem to go away. I don't know.
No, that's an unending contract.
That's a female thing.
Right?
I raised two boys, one of whom was what we call ADHD, very hyperactive. And there was a whole lot of things that went into trying to survive him. Yeah. And yet he's a totally wonderful human being. Both my boys are. I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
But it took its toll, because for every physical reaction, there's for every emotional reaction, there's a physical reaction.
That's right.
And most people don't even realize that, but I like to think of it in terms of, if you're embarrassed, you may turn red. And that's a physical reaction to an emotion.
Yes. And
think about that and expanding that into all kinds of things, even an immune problem, getting sick a lot. There's always an emotion attached to that, that in part because it lowers our immune system. So that's one thing. So I really worked on that a lot, especially having been married a couple times. And
I think that's what had you looking young. I think that's what the married a couple times. How many is a couple times, Joan?
Three times.
Like three. She's like three.
Yeah, 3 times. The first two were not good. The third was good, but my former husband developed Parkinson's. Oh. And that was where the caregiving came in.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, I look at all the experiences, and this again goes back to attitude. Right. I look at all the experiences that I've had, good, bad, and indifferent, and really use them as an opportunity to see what was going on for me. What did I need to learn? What opportunity was in that situation? And it really has helped me become the person I am today.
Yeah.
So with that also came a whole spiritual growth. And let's see, probably 30 some years ago, over 30 years ago, I met my spiritual teacher and learned so much about who I was beyond this body. I mean, we're so much more than just this physical body. And learning that changed my whole perspective on life, changed the way I looked at things, the way I reacted to things, and it really helped me get through a lot of difficult times. So that was that. And then before that, a couple of years before that,
right,
I had surgery, and that was where falling asleep at work, being tired, what else went on, gaining weight.
Wow.
And I just couldn't get my body back. Well, it turned out, and I had known since I was 15, that I had a thyroid condition, and it wasn't being handled properly. So that added to being tired and gaining weight. And that was when I got turned on to nutrition and started working with a product line that I've been using ever since. And I totally felt better in 2 weeks after, and I started losing weight. I started getting my body back in balance. So that was the physical side. And then, of course, movement starting to dance again. I danced since I was like 5, and I hadn't been dancing, and I was 40 at the time.
Oh, wow.
And my next door neighbor kept saying, "Oh, you've got to come dance with me. We go to this country western bar," and I hated country western music, so I kept saying, "No, no, no." Finally went with her, and it was like, "Oh, they're doing the swing. I learned the swing when I was a kid. They're doing the waltz. I know how to do the waltz. I learned that when I was a kid." And what else was that? There was, the only thing new that I had never done was something called the two-step. And boy, it took me a while. You couldn't talk to me when I was dancing because
I coordination.
Yes. Yes. It was pretty funny. But what I found was, just like what you said to me, when I danced, everything else went away.
Yeah. And, the world doesn't exist. It doesn't exist at all.
Yes. So I didn't have to worry about my kids, didn't have to think about my job, which I didn't care for. And I was just in another world. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
So those things together really was stress relief in terms of dance, but attitude, spirituality, what I ate, the supplements I took. And I also did a couple other things, like get rid of all the toxic chemicals in my home.
And
that really...
Don't forget the people, Joan, the toxic people. Don't forget.
Oh, well, you're right. You're so right.
Don't forget.
Oh my gosh.
It's not just the chemicals in your home, the people.
You're so right. In fact, recently, and I've heard this a long time ago, but recently we were talking, some friends, and we were talking about how who you are is really in many ways determined by the 5 people closest to you.
Oh, yes.
The first time I heard that, I made some changes.
Yeah.
So today,
it makes you take a hard look at yourself. When you look at the people that you're surrounded with, you're like, no, I'm the 6th. Hell no.
Exactly. So that's kind of a quick version of my story on how I really got started.
That's beautiful. I mean, the main thing, a couple of things I'm taking from what you're sharing. It doesn't matter what age you are. You could be 60, 80, 90, 100, 30, 15. I don't care what the range is. Wherever you are and whatever it is you're going through, there is a solution.
Totally.
The first thing is to recognize that you're going through it. And not only to recognize that you're going through it, but how you feel about it, because the feeling is the key. So you may be going through a lot of challenges, financial, emotional, work-related, family, whatever. Accept it for what you see, what it is, what you're feeling, because what you may be seeing, somebody may come to you and say, that's not what it is, no, whatever, and try to convince you otherwise. But your feeling is your barometer to tell you something is off. So even though you see with your eyes and somebody could convince you otherwise that that's not what it is, your feeling about that situation is what is your barometer. And if you don't feel good about it, then it's wrong.
Well, that's very true. That means you're out of balance. You're not in your flow.
No.
I like to think of it in terms of the step 1 is awareness, recognizing how you feel, recognizing what's going on, recognizing that something maybe needs to change.
Yes.
Then you have to make a decision to actually make the change and really make the commitment. Yes.
But the first thing is to accept and use your barometer of feelings to help you to decide, I don't feel good about this. Because some people, they may have the feeling that, I don't feel good, but they make the excuse. And then other people come into their life, or they go to somebody and say, I'm going through this. And then the person said, no, That's not what it is. Or they may give you their situation and suddenly yours don't look as bad and you feel, oh, that person's going through this, I could stay with mine. Hell no. You don't like you don't like it, you do something about it. So the next step, like you say, is to take a decision once you accept that you don't feel good, and then take action about it. And the action, and the action for you and for me is dancing. I love dancing. I have always loved dancing. No, I have always loved dancing as a child. I never got the opportunity. And I'll tell you the type of dancing that I fall in love with: ballet. I have long legs. I have long legs. My torso is short, but from my waist down is long. So I have long, elongated legs. Ooh. So yeah, and I've always loved ballet. Now, coming from the Caribbean, people might think, what? You know, because it's not something typical of a Caribbean woman, I would think. But I never got the opportunity, but I used to watch it. So I'm a person that like, for instance, musicals, you know, like musicals, the movies.
Yes.
People might not like musicals. And musicals involve singing and dancing.
Yes.
So these things are not typical, I'm telling you, of a Caribbean person. It's just not. So I realize the things that I like is just so different. I would go to the opera. I would love to go to an opera. People be like, what? The opera? I'm in a different world when if I should go to an opera. When I hear it on TV, I'm like, wow, this is taking me somewhere else. It does something for my spirit. So when I discovered dancing, I was in my 40s, early 40s, and I always wanted to, and I found it near me, and I said, hell, I'm going to go to this thing. The same day I found out is the same day I went. I wasn't hesitating. Good. And since then, I have never stopped dancing, except for the traveling that I've done in between and moving around, you know, between here and Jamaica. It's kind of like, you know, hard to kind of stick with the dancing. But like the more I stay away, the better that I dance. Somehow I just fall right back.
Why not?
Fall right back into it. And just like we were talking off air, you know, I'm in a different world. I think of nothing, nobody. The world could be burning down. And
I totally understand.
I really don't care. I don't know. It could burn around me while I dance. So and
fire dance.
Yeah. That's right. That's right, Joan. A fire dance. And it does make you feel sexy, and it does make you feel young. It brings back that, as you talk about, the attitude, which is key. And it keeps your body in shape, because you were mentioning off air before we started recording. If you were to do what, four dances for how long? What were you saying?
Yeah, put, you know, the music on, what are they, 2-3 minutes each song?
Right.
And do 4, and you've done your like 12 to 15 minutes, and you're good for the day. But for me, it's also the attitude adjustment. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, I do 6 hours of dancing in one night. So I just keep going. And we know the legs hurt. We know your legs are swollen, but it's worth the pain.
Well, that's when you talk to me, because I have some things that are to recover. I've been working also with sports nutrition, and totally, when I really work hard and work out and do stuff and dance for a long time, before I go to bed, I have this physique drink that I take, or now there's a new product called Recover, and I take it at night before I go to bed, and boy, the next day it's like, oh, normally I would be able to get up and barely walk, you know? But it seems to do all the things that your body needs. Get rid of lactic acid, do whatever. And
I just love it. The pain is worth it, people. I don't care. The pain is worth it. This is, you know, when you look at like athletes and people who do extreme sports, and you're like, whoa, are they crazy? They would do it over and over and over again. They don't care if their bones are broken, their leg is split. They're like, just keep going. Yeah, they're like, yay, I would do that again. And I'd be like, whoa. You know, there's
That,
just a high. There's just a
yeah.
high that you get on it. And it's amazing. And, you know, I tell people, I mean, I'm supposed to be speaking at an online conference soon. And these are some of the things that I'll be sharing about, you know, your 40s. People have this thing about the 40s. It seems as if something happens at 40s to us women, where we look at, yeah, where we look at our life and we feel we're going downhill. When actually everything starts at 40.
Yes, up better, always better.
Yeah.
I have to tell you an interesting story that stayed with me. When I went back for a college reunion,
Mm-hmm.
this was probably, I was probably 35 maybe. And one of the women, we were all hanging out and talking, and there was a woman there, blonde hair, gorgeous,
Yeah.
from Texas. And
Oh,
she was divorced. She was divorced, and she was talking about how hard it was to meet a man because she was so old. And I'm going, are you kidding me? Oh, yeah, they all want these young women. And I'm thinking, are you kidding? They can't even talk. So it's the experience and the wisdom that I think in the long run,
yes.
in a relationship, whatever your relationship is, that people really want more than just the outside covering. And
Yeah.
that really stuck with me because I thought, wow, you don't feel good enough about yourself. And I went to Smith College, which is like top quality and bright women.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, you don't think very much of yourself.
Yeah.
But remember, my age, the people that were my age grew up kind of with one foot in our mother's world,
Yeah.
which was grow up, get married, have kids, you know, be the wife, be the
That's it.
housewife.
Yeah,
And
your
then
life was
the
set
other,
for you. Your life was set.
right. And then the other half, because we were kind of right in the middle between women's lib in the old days, the other half was in women's lib and being a feminist and standing up for yourself and creating the person you wanted to be and you doing your passion.
Yeah.
And I was this woman and thinking, wow, I'm going to remember this because I never want to be thinking that.
No, I could relate to that. Going through that myself, I think all women go through that because, you know, the world focus on the physical attributes, and it is shown in the media. So there's a lot of heavy influence coming from the media where that is concerned, the magazines, the media. And you have to, this is why I don't even watch TV, really, and that type of thing, and the magazine stuff. Because it gives an impression that if you don't fit into that box, that thinking, then you're out of it. You're not beautiful, you're not sexy, you know, whatever. And then the guys too give that impression. And if they come to you and say, oh, you need to lose weight, or your breast is hanging, or one is too big, too small, whatever, you just
say
have
bye.
Right, exactly, right.
No.
You just
We
need
don't
to
need
learn
that.
to say that word, bye. Right? Bye. And love your breast. The big one that's hanging and the one that's not hanging, whichever. It's your breast. Okay? And he would love to hold on to those breasts, believe me. So,
I'm sure.
Right? Okay.
Totally.
So you you love them and love yourself no matter what, because you know, I always go back when I look at people and relationships, and I've been observing that for a little while now, Joan, you know, with this whole contrast of perfection. And I'm like, I look at couples and I'm like, he's with her, she's with him. You know, you're like, you expect him to be with a particular type of woman, or you expect her to be with a particular, but they love each other and they go out and he's not embarrassed to be with her and vice versa. And you're like, hold on, if that exists, then it's possible. For me, then there's somebody for me, there's somebody for that particular guy who's listening to this. Don't feel that you're so what? You're a gift, you know. We are gifts from God. And whatever you have, whether there's a mole in your eye, whether your breast hanging, whether there's a tree growing out of your face, as people say, you know, you are still beautiful. You are still beautiful, and don't allow the media or someone, anyone, to come to tell you otherwise, because that same person, as a matter of fact, have their own imperfections, have their own situations that they're dealing with, but they're not saying it to you.
Right, but you're seeing it. You are probably seeing it, that they're not perfect either.
But nobody is. Nobody is. Yeah. But you have to be perfect in yourself. Perfect. You know, you must love yourself perfectly. Yeah.
And I think that's where it starts. And that's one of the things I think is so important, is to really, in fact, my second chapter in my book, I talk about where are you now? Where are you starting from? Because, and I give like a couple of different scenarios or questions that you answer for yourself, so that you can really see where you are now. And boy, when you start to realize that maybe you don't like yourself so much, time to get working, because you make some very bad decisions based on how you feel about yourself. And I certainly have. Believe me, I have made many bad decisions over the years. But I found I finally learned from them.
Yeah. And like you have it here, a rebellious look. You really have to become a gangster. You have to become you have to become a gangster. I'm serious. I am so serious. That is what I had to become. You know, after going through challenges, I said, what the hell? And you have to cuss yourself, use the F word, and and really just say, you know, this is what if this what that, and just say hell, and become gangster. You used to dress a particular way. I'm not saying to go out there and show, you know, all skin and become whatever. Be comfortable with you. If you like, for instance, I like boots. I love boots, but in the Caribbean, it's not something that people wear, because we're in the Caribbean, for Christ's sake. There's no reason to necessarily wear boots, right? But so if I wear boots, people might look at me and say, what? She thinks she's living in the States or in a cold country, but I don't care. I love boots. So
you're being true to yourself.
I'm being true to me. So we have to take a rebellious look. We have to become a rebel. We have to become a gangster to really speak, about who we are, and step out. Step out into who you are. Step into, not even to step out, step into who you really are. Yes. And you find, Joan, and I'm sure you could testify to this, it's so freeing. You feel a weight lifted off of you. You're like, what? It took me, 40 years, 50 years to realize this shit? I should have been doing it. I should have been doing this a long damn time ago. Hell.
Definitely took a long time.
Yeah.
And partly, you know, part of why I wrote this book was really not just for people that are older, although there's a lot of help for people that are older, but also if someone starts younger, to really understand who they are. They may not have to go through all the misery and experiences that at least I've been through, and to be able to have a whole different outlook on life.
Exactly. Don't waste time, people. Don't waste time. This is the show for you. Do what you got to do. Become a rebel, become a gangster, recognize who you are. Yes, recognize who you are and live. And you see, the thing is, Joan, we don't know the expiry date on our life. You know, that's the thing. We don't know. If we knew, we would live differently. If we knew. We are not on a shelf where, you know, you look at a barcode and you see the expiry date. You know when to throw the damn thing out. But you don't know when to throw yourself out. You don't know when it's time to go.
You know,
you have to live now.
There's something that I often say when I do a speech on nutrition. If you only had one car your whole life, how would you take care of it?
I tell you. And you would park it up. No, you would park it up. You would park it up.
Well, you'd certainly get the service when you need it. You'd change the oil. You'd keep it washed and
No,
clean.
some people leave it parked. Some people leave it parked up. It collects dust. The tires get soft and saggy, right? People can pass and say, hey, that's a nice car. And you say, yeah, until after a while, people stop saying, hey, that's a nice car.
But if you take care of it, why not take care of it like take care of your body like you take care of that one car that you have.
Drive it out sometimes. Drive it out sometimes, Joan. Give it a drive. Give it a ride.
I am.
Give it a drive. Give it a drive. Right? Carry it in places. Carry it in places it has never been.
Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah. Carry it to places that's never been. Park it up differently to what you're accustomed parking. Take along some people for a ride. Come on.
That's called living.
Yes, that's called living. Joan, I'm featuring your book here. It's available, I see, on Amazon. Do you have it in ebook and print as well, or is it just ebook?
Right now, it's not an ebook. It's a hard copy.
Okay.
That you can order through Amazon. I hope to have it in as an ebook or Kindle in the next couple of months. But I'm a book reader. I like to actually hold the book.
Yeah.
Pages.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. So I just haven't done it yet, but I am planning on doing that. But you can buy it through Amazon.
Great. I'm just running through your website here. So you have some services.
Yes, I do assessments and consultations. My consultations, usually the first one you get 15 to 30 minutes depending for free. And then I have packages of different things that I offer people. I love having people get started on a good, healthy nutritional program because once you get your cells changed over and you feel good, your health is better. There's so many things that are affecting your mood and your ability to do things. If you can get your nutritional foundation started, even if you have extra troubles, it really makes a huge difference. And that's what happened to me. It took about 2 weeks. I usually tell people at least a month before you want to really give your body a chance to completely turn over. But it took 2 weeks for me, and all of a sudden I was starting to lose weight. I had more energy. I was able to do all kinds of things that I hadn't been able to do. I wasn't falling asleep at work, so my boss was very happy. That always helps.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad you mentioned the cells. I'll tell you something that I firmly believe in. Cells are living things. We are made up of millions of cells.
Trillions.
They repair, they replace, they do their thing. And because they're living things, they're very aware, just like how we need to be aware. They can hear, see, smell, touch, all the different things. They're doing their thing in their own way. Now, if they are not happy, if these cells are not happy, they're going to start reacting. They're going to start fighting against each other. They're going to start eating each other. They're going to start looking at each other and getting upset with each other. So, if you're not happy. And I firmly believe that unhappy cells is what causes cancer and all the other health conditions.
Interesting you said that, because it goes really back to what I said before in terms of for every emotional action, there's a physical reaction. And again, it can be as simple as being embarrassed and turning red, but it can be as serious as cancer. And we just have to really start to become more aware, and awareness is the key to start recognizing what is happening in our lives.
Yeah, and work on your happiness. And happiness is not out there or in Joan or in the work or in someone else. It's right in you. It's just a decision. Oh my God, I love you, Joan. It's right in you. And that's the thing. People look for happiness everywhere else except where it is. And you know, it comes like when they say, if you want to hide something from somebody, put it in a book. It's right in there. It's right in the book, because it's so easy. It's so easy to find. They will never think about looking in a book. So it's right in here.
Yes, it's right all inside. But there's a quote I have in my book from Jeffrey Combs, and I can't give it to you exactly without going and looking it up, but I was reading it this morning. Basically, it says, most people are always looking for happiness and they miss all the happy moments.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And it's like, you know what I feel, Joan? I think, and you know, it happens to me. It's not that it doesn't happen to me. And you have to do a lot of self-talk. What I think happens is that people don't feel that they deserve to laugh, to be happy. And like I said, the influence of other people make them feel that way too. Why are you so happy? I remember somebody asking me that. I was like, what? Why are you so happy? I was like,
isn't that where we're supposed to be?
Right? I was really taken aback. I was like, what? Why am I smiling so much? I'm like, what? What do I have to smile about? I'm like, what? I'm because I'm always laughing, I'm always smiling, I'm always in a jovial mood. So I'm like, how was that? I'm like, you are clearly not somebody I want to continue talking to. I don't really, yeah, and I don't hesitate to delete people out of my life. There's something called a delete button.
Yeah.
On your phone, right? You just press it and it deletes. You're right. There is a delete button on my computer. There is okay.
And on your phone, you can even block them.
Yes, block and delete. That's my favorite thing to do. Block and delete. Block and delete. It doesn't take a while. It doesn't take a long while. It's an instantaneous thing for you to have instantaneous happiness. Come on. Yeah. So there's no guilt for being happy. Stop feeling guilty for being happy, for bringing joy.
Yes, it's a choice too. I mean, you can choose to make your life good and happy, and it may take some work. And in fact, when we were talking before, becoming aware, making a decision and a commitment, yes. Then I talk about making a plan. Okay, what's your plan? And then act on that plan. Don't just sit around. Do it. You know?
And sometimes you don't even need a damn plan. You feel to do something, just get up and do it.
Well, that was with you with dancing. You just decided and went for it, and I love it.
I didn't have a plan. I didn't care.
That you didn't need a plan for.
No. So I have your speaker sheet here, and I got that from your website.
Yes.
And and I want to end with this screen here. So make 2018 the best year ever. And it's not only 2018, it's from 2018 and beyond.
Yes.
From 2018 and beyond. Start in this moment. Today is what, April 4th? Yeah. Right? Yes. So you're listening to this show, or you will be listening to this show, even if you listen to it April 30th or May 1st, I don't care when you listen to it. We are recording on April 4th, 2018. Whenever you listen to this and you catch the spirit, you make sure that you make sure you take that moment and start your life fresh and new. And whatever you always wanted to do, just do it. You don't have a plan. You don't need to have all your ducks lined up in a row. You don't need to tell everybody. You don't need to wait for everything to be perfect. Just do it. Just do it.
Yes.
Just do it. Joan, I've had fun. I've had fun.
Great.
Yes. and I'm going to challenge you to a dance off.
Oh no.
Latin versus swing and two-step.
Well, I think I'd rather do the Latin with you.
What you said, it's on. It's on, Joan.
Well, I have to do it on Zoom with the music background like that.
No, I'm going to come over. I'm going to come over.
Hey, let me know.
Yeah, I'm going to come over and we will video it. Dance off between Corinne and Joan.
Oh my gosh. I'll have to get back to working out more.
Whatever you need to do, don't tell me. It's a challenge. Don't tell me. Whatever you need to do.
I'm in Portland, Oregon. So
very good. Very good. I am going to email you. I have everything on you. So when I'm coming over there, just know it's on. It's on.
All right. We're good.
We're good. It's on. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you. This has been so much fun, Corinne.
Oh, yes. It's been a blast. And although we lasted an hour, almost an hour, it's my show. It's my show. And I can do whatever I want. Thank you so much. I had fun. It's great talking with you. It's great that you're blessed to be here to share all of these things with persons, no matter what age, that they can still live their life over and they still have life.
Yes.
That's the important thing. Once you have life, you can do anything. So I want persons to check out Joan Lubar's site. It's already here, joanlubar.com. And of course, you're going to be getting the recording. Connect with me. If you can't find Joan, just let me know because I'm going to be having a dance-off with her in Oregon. Yeah.
I love it. Okay, sounds wonderful to me.
Yes. Joan, my darling, thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I want people to get copies of your book and rock and roll at any age.
Yes, we should all be rocking and rolling, no matter what age we are.
No matter what age you are. Make 2018 and beyond your best years ever.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, and it's been wonderful talking to you.
It's been wonderful having you. Thank you so much for being here.
Bye.